And I started off with obviously the all-seeing eye on the dollar bill.
Yeah.
And if you notice with the all-seeing eye on the dollar bill, on the particular side that it's on, it's the only note that it appears on in America, and there's four ones on it, and they ring out 1111 either side of the dollar bill.
Indeed. Yeah.
You got the same thing again. And I was looking at that and basically started comparing it to other, American institutions, looking it through, the FBI logo, the CIA logo, every single one of them. You can essentially kind of draw out the pyramid without the capstone,
Yeah.
and have an eye in the center. The same geometrics work in a lot of the official institutions of America.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get to the source of where this was, and everyone, generally a misinterpretation is that America was the foundation of all of this. In 1776, and for a while I thought America was the start of all of this New World Order stuff. I didn't think any further than that. My consciousness wouldn't allow it.
Yeah.
But eventually, came to me, Britain, obviously the British founded America.
Yeah.
On it in a Western kind of empire sense, but looked at the British coat of arms, and if you pick up the British coat of arms, again you'll notice that you've got a pyramid, and where the all-seeing eye is, you've got a crown. It's the same thing. You can draw the same geometrics over it, and you've got smack bang the same symbols coming at you. So I was like, right, well, what's going on here? This is obviously a lot more, ingrained in human civilization, more than I thought, anyhow.
Indeed.
Which point you then start moving to the famous corporate symbols of McDonald's and Schweppes and Starbucks. These amazing corporations that you'll find them in all the symbolic places of the world. Like when I've been to Rome, you've got a McDonald's opposite the Pantheon and the Egyptian obelisk. And then if you go to the Sphinx in Cairo, and you've got a KFC, and you've got a McDonald's right outside the entranceway. And, literally everywhere you go, you can no doubt find one of these kind of food venues or whatever,
the pest.
right next to some of these symbolic structures.
Yeah.
And so, for instance, explain the McDonald's logo, you got 9 letters in the word McDonald's. And I decided to split that up into pyramid numerology. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Split the word up. Do you know what I mean? Into a step kind of structure.
And I think you have this on your blog, isn't that right? So people that are tuning in can take a look at that.
You can take a look at it on my blog, but basically, to spell it out, basically you can form a pyramid-like word out of it, in which the cornerstones and the top part of the pyramid minus the capstone spell the word Mason.
Yeah.
And essentially what the pyramid is showing is that the 2 arches of Freemasonry, or the golden arches, or whatever you want to call them, emanate from the centre of the pyramid and preside all the way onto the outside of the pyramid. So essentially you've got this event that seems to preside over the pyramid. And then same thing goes with the Schweppes logo. I mean, I had a real good 11/11 moment with this, because it happened in a glass of Schweppes tonic water when the ice cubes started ringing at me.
Right.
I thought that was pretty mental, but it was insinuating something was happening.
Nice.
And I looked on the bottle, and the year 1783, obviously on the all-seeing eye, the date 1776. I was like, we're a bit too close for comfort here. We're in the period of the Enlightenment, is what they call it.
Yeah.
And look at their logo, and it doesn't even take any deciphering, this one. There's a pyramid with an angel on top, with a McDonald's-style M presiding over the pyramid. So essentially you've got more messianic imagery in the logo of a corporate symbol. And all I can think is this company, Schweppes, they teamed up with Cadbury's. They're instrumental in destroying the health of the world, because they create sugary drinks and, aspartame-ridden drinks and everything that goes with it. And they're using this symbology. So you can look at that on my blog yet again, because it's all on there.
Very interesting.
Get to Starbucks, and Starbucks, if you look at, when you're walking past any old Starbucks, you'll notice that the logo is 3 stars that make a pyramid, and the very top star is seated on top of a crown, which is essentially, symbolic of the all-seeing eye, but underneath the crown is a woman, and that woman is Isis. So the Egyptian deity Isis. And essentially what I've realised over the past few days is that what these logos are depicting is some form of messianic event.
Yeah.
And when you look into a book, there's a book called The Secret Teachers of All Ages from 1928 by Manly P. Hall.
Indeed.
And states ISIS is sometimes shown standing between two great pillars of Freemasonry.
Yeah.
So deity ISIS stands between these pillars. So on the McDonald's logo, where you've got the M and you've got the M coinciding on the top of the pyramid, and the same on the Schweppes logo, where you've got the angel stood on top of the pyramid, they're representing ISIS. There's no other way of looking at it, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
So basically, ISIS is symbolic of the all-seeing eye. It's the same thing. Same as when you're looking, for instance, into the Holy Trinity and stuff, and you've got the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
There's the evidence of the kind of, the ever-looming one who sees everything but isn't quite there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyhow, this occult symbolism, it works on a dual level. Like optical illusions, for instance, you can now look at a picture and do you see the old woman or do you see the young woman?
Yeah.
It's got the duality, same as everything else when it comes down to religion.
Yeah.
Most people are attuned to see one thing, but it actually means another thing as well. But it depends which version you want to go with. There's two ways to look at it. And my opinion on everything with the occult is that it's working on a different plane outside of the five sense human reality. It's something that's working in the subconscious.
Yeah.
And going on that principle of mind before matter universe, when you're looking at this occult symbolism, and if one person is, say, looking at the Schweppes logo and they're drinking Schweppes and they're buying into this logo, they're buying into the brand, they're buying into all of it, they think they're just buying into a great drink, but they're also buying into this other thing. They're buying into this messianic event. And essentially, if you think about this mind before matter universe, if this occult symbology is working on the subconscious, and it's working on the subconscious of a global population, then it's got the ability to still bring itself forward into matter. Do you know what I mean?
So it's what you're saying is that with the help of all these knowing people, so to speak, this is propelled forward. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. For instance, like when someone goes to a McDonald's and they're buying into the McDonald's, how clever they got that anyhow, because it's beautiful. Right. But when they're going in and they're buying those McDonald's, they're also, they're buying into the alternate thing, which is the symbol of, this messianic event on top of a pyramid. It's empowering it. It's building it into the subconscious, and that subconscious can precipitate into matter at the right time.
And that's interesting, considering that many of these companies are so, they're global players. Some of these companies have bigger, a bigger economy and gain more money than certain countries do.
Well, we've got no idea how they got so successful. There's no reason for it, to be honest, apart from that there's something else there working with them.